A little while ago, I made a video about Costco's jewelry case. 5 things secretly worth buying, 2 things to never touch, and it struck a nerve. The comments exploded. Thousands of you had walked past that glass case between the tires and the wine for years, never knowing whether it was hiding real treasure or expensive junk. And almost every comment asked the same thing. Do the whole case. Not 5 items, all of it. So that is exactly what this is. This is the complete ranking of Costco's jewelry section, every popular item people actually buy, sorted into 3 simple tiers. The steals, where Costco quietly humiliates brands charging 5 and 10 times more. The solids, genuinely good buys that come with one catch you need to know before you pay. And the skips, the pieces where even Costco's famous low prices cannot save you, because the problem was never the price. By the end, you will be able to walk into any Costco in the country, know in about 5 seconds which categories are a gold mine and which are a quiet trap. First, the one number that makes this entire video make sense, because without it, none of the rankings mean anything. Most jewelry retail runs on a markup of 300 to 800% over what the piece actually cost to produce. Costco caps theirs at an estimated 10 to 15%. That is not a typo. That is the lowest in the entire industry, and it is the reason a 1-carat diamond that costs $16,000 at a famous brand can cost around $5,000 at Costco with the very same GIA certificate attached. But there is a trap most people fall straight into. A thin margin does not mean everything is a steal. If the underlying product is junk, a fair price on junk is still money wasted. That single idea is the entire reason this ranking exists, and it is the difference between the 3 tiers you are about to see. So let's build it, starting at the top, with the shelf that genuinely embarrasses them all. Tier 1. The steals. This is the shelf where Costco's thin margin sits on top of honest material, and the value is so lopsided it almost feels unfair. We start with the category that is the entire reason Costco's jewelry program has a cult following: diamond engagement rings and diamond bands. And the thing that makes this category a steal is not actually the price. It is the floor. Costco sets a hard quality minimum. Every diamond 1 carat and up ships with a GIA report, graded to at least VS2 clarity and eye color, all natural, all untreated, vetted by their own GIA-trained gemologists, and the smaller stones run on Costco's in-house grading. In plain terms, the worst diamond Costco will sell you is still better than the average stone at a mall chain. There is one catch worth saying out loud, though. Costco guarantees clarity and color, but the cut grade only has to land somewhere between good and excellent, and you cannot hand-pick the stone or see a video of it before it arrives. So for a serious center stone, a specialist online seller who lets you inspect the exact diamond can sometimes beat them on GIA. For the bands, none of that applies. That is why the plain anniversary and the all-the-way-around eternity styles are among the single most reviewed products the whole company sells, with thousands of ratings each. The quality floor is high, the design is simple, and there is nothing to second-guess. Next come diamond stud earrings. And these are where the pure price gap shows itself, because a stud is the most stripped-down piece in the entire lineup. It is nothing but a stone and a post, no design, no craftsmanship, nowhere to hide a weak diamond or pad a price. So when an identical pair runs 3 to 5 times more at a luxury house than at Costco, you are seeing the markup naked, with nothing wrapped around it. Costco also carries a serious men's selection here, up to 3 carats in platinum, a corner the mall barely bothers with. The velvet box and the famous address are the only things you give up, and neither is worth $4,000. Then there is the diamond tennis bracelet, And here the angle shifts from price to something this channel cares about even more: build. The tennis bracelet is a row of dozens of small stones, each in its own setting, which means dozens of individual points that can loosen and drop a diamond over a lifetime on your wrist. This is exactly where mall chains cut corners, shaving the prongs thin to save metal. Costco's versions tend to use heavier, more secure prongs, the part you cannot see in a photo, and the part that decides whether the bracelet still has all its stones in 10 years. That it also costs a fraction of the mall price is almost the secondary benefit. I broke down studs, bands, and bracelets in more detail in my first Costco video, so I will keep moving, but understand that the entire diamond shelf, top to bottom, is the core of why this section is worth your time. Now gold, where the steal is the simplest logic on the whole list. Solid 14-karat and 18-karat gold chains and gold hoop earrings. Gold is gold. The metal genuinely does not know or care which logo is printed on the box. A solid gold chain at Costco can cost a third of what the identical gold weight costs at a mall chain, and it carries the same purity stamp, the same finish, the same everything. Gold hoops in yellow, white, or rose put real precious metal on your ears for close to melt value, because the small size keeps the total price within reach for almost any budget. When you are paying for gold by the gram, the only thing a big markup buys you is somebody else's storefront rent. At Costco, you are paying for the gold itself, and that is the whole point. And to close the steal tier, the two stones that quietly beat the luxury houses harder than anything else in the building: pearls. Costco sells both classic Akoya strands and exotic Tahitian pearls are sourced from the same farms that supply the famous luxury names, and they sell for up to a tenth of the price. Their grading is straight, and crucially, their strands are well matched, meaning the pearls along the necklace are uniform in size, color, and luster, which is the single most important quality marker in all of pearl jewelry. They are not the absolute top auction grade, and for almost every buyer alive, they do not need to be, because the difference in quality is invisible to the eye while the difference in price is impossible to ignore. If you ever assumed a real pearl necklace had to cost $3,000, this is the shelf that proves otherwise. So that is the gold mine. If something here already has you rethinking that next mall trip, take 1 second to hit subscribe, because the next tier is where it gets genuinely tricky. The price still looks just as good, but every single item carries one thing you need to know before you hand over your card. And the very last tier is where I show you the exact words on a Costco tag that should make you leave the piece on the shelf. Tier 2. The solids. These are genuinely good purchases, every one of them. But each comes with one honest asterisk, and the asterisk is the whole reason this tier is not the top tier. Start with colored gemstone rings, because Costco carries real ones: natural sapphire, natural ruby, and gemstone and diamond bands set in solid gold. Here is the good news, and the catch in a single breath. The good news is that sapphire and ruby are both corundum, a 9 on the hardness scale, second only to diamond, with no cleavage, which makes them genuinely among the toughest colored stones you can wear every single day without worry. The catch is treatment. The overwhelming majority of sapphire and ruby on Earth, Costco included, has been heat treated to improve color. That is completely standard and accepted across the industry, but it should be reflected in the price. So the rule is simply, do not pay untreated money for a treated stone. Buy the toughness, enjoy the color, just know exactly what you are buying. Now the colored stones that demand real caution, and this is where my gemstone ranking video becomes almost required watching. Costco's gemstone earrings and rings include tanzanite, opal, and London blue topaz. All three are beautiful. All three are structurally needy. Tanzanite and opal sit near the very bottom of my durability ranking for good reason. Both are soft, and both are prone to cracking. Or, in opal's case, crazing from nothing more than a temperature swing, so they belong in earrings and pendants that live a protected life, never on an everyday ring that meets door frames and steering wheels. Topaz is harder, a full 8 on the scale, but it carries perfect cleavage, which means a knock from exactly the wrong angle can split it clean. None of these are bad buys. They are simply buys where the setting style and your own lifestyle matter far more than the price tag, and the price tag will never volunteer that to you. Garnet rings land better than most people expect, and they deserve a moment, because garnet is one of the most underrated stones in the entire jewelry world. It rates a solid 7 to 7.5, has no cleavage, is genuinely tough, and it comes in far more colors than the dull, dark red everyone pictures. Costco sets it cleanly in gold, often paired with diamond accents, and the result is a quiet solid that punches well above its modest price. Then the wrist. Gold bangles and cuff bracelets are a strong buy when they are solid. The one thing to check is that the metal is thick enough to hold its round shape, because a thin or hollow bangle slowly bends oval the first time it gets crushed in a bag. Once it loses its form, there is no fixing it. Gemstone bracelets follow the same rule as the gemstone rings. The stone decides everything, so judge it by what is set in it. Now the neck, and this is the category where you have to read the fine print harder than anywhere else, for a reason that will become very clear in about 90 seconds. Diamond cross necklaces and diamond heart necklaces at Costco are real gold and real diamonds. But the amount of actual diamond varies enormously from piece to piece, and some lean on a whisper of diamond to justify their price. Solid gold pendant necklaces and diamond solitaire pendants, on the other hand, are a clean, solid, real metal, a single certified stone, simple and durable. The earrings beyond the studs deserve their own mention too. Diamond and pearl drop earrings are lovely and well-made, and genuinely worth owning. Just respect that a heavy drop pulls on the earlobe over the years, and it needs a secure connection. And that the pearl in a pearl and diamond pair is the soft, vulnerable half that decides how the piece ages. Diamond hoop earrings, the inside and outside styles set with stones all the way around, are a near steal that I am parking here only because the stone count makes them a maintenance commitment. More settings mean more individual points that can loosen over a lifetime of wear. And the multi-stone rings, the 5-stone and 3-stone anniversary styles, are honest value as long as you judge them the right way, on total certified carat weight and quality, not on how impressively busy they look on the hand. A row of small stones can be sold to sound like far more than it is, so always ask for the total weight and the grade, exactly as you would with a single solitaire. Finally, in this tier, the category that surprises people the most is watches. Costco sells Bulova, Citizen, Invicta, and similar names at genuinely strong prices, and the value is real for what these actually are. But here is the honest line, the same one I apply to everything on this channel. A fashion or entry-level watch is bought for the look and the function, never as an heirloom or an investment. The movement is decent, the price is fair, the case and crystal are solid. Just walk in understanding that this is a tool and an accessory that does its job well, not a Swiss mechanical piece that holds or grows its value over decades. For that purpose, at that price, it earns its solid. One honest detour before the final tier, because it protects you outside the store as much as in it. A couple of things are worth knowing about how Costco actually sells. They deal in finished jewelry only, no loose stones and no custom semi-mounts. And their gold is 14 karat, 18 karat, or 950 platinum. Never the thinner 10 karat the mall leans on. Costco built its name on natural, untreated diamonds, and that is still the heart of the diamond case. They also carry some lab-created colored stones, clearly labeled as such. So the rule that actually matters for you is simple. Read the listing. Confirm whether any stone is natural or lab-created, and make sure the price matches which one it is. And keep one more thing in mind. The third-party sites selling Costco-style jewelry are a completely different animal. That is where 10-karat gold and mystery stones slip in, dressed up to look like the real warehouse value. Know the real specification, and you can never be faked out by an imitation of the thing you came for. Tier 3. The skips. This is the shelf where the famous low markup becomes a trap. Because on these items, the problem was never the price, it was the product underneath it. First, anything labeled lab created emerald. And let me be completely fair here, because this is not fraud. Costco labels it honestly and openly. A lab-created emerald is a real emerald, simply grown in a lab instead of the ground. And there is genuinely nothing wrong with owning one if the price reflects what it is. So this is a conditional skip. Only buy it if it is priced like the lab-grown stone it actually is, nowhere near natural emerald money. The real danger is the shopper who sees the word emerald beside a gold setting and assumes they are walking away with something they are not. Read the words lab created and let them set your price expectation before your eyes do. Next, fancy colored diamond rings. The yellows, the pinks, the blues. These are real diamonds, but they are expensive. The color is very often treatment enhanced rather than natural, and this is precisely the category where even Costco's thin markup still leaves you paying serious money for something whose true value is hard to verify and even harder to resell down the line. Unless you genuinely, deeply understand colored diamonds and their grading, this is a category to admire and walk straight past. And now the single most important words on any Costco tag, the undisputed king of the skip tier: diamond accent. This phrase shows up at Costco exactly the way it shows up everywhere else in retail, and it is quite simply the most misleading term in the entire industry. Diamond accent means the total diamond weight in the piece is under 1/4 of a carat, very often under 1/10, and it is made up of the tiniest, lowest grade chip diamonds, the leftovers from cutting real stones. They are technically legally diamonds. They are also functionally worth a few dollars and visually almost invisible on a finger. The marketing leans its entire weight on the word diamond to justify a price the actual diamond content cannot begin to support. This is exactly why those cross and heart necklaces demand a careful eye. Some are beautiful, solid gold pieces worth owning for the gold alone, and some are mostly gold, carrying a faint dusting of diamond chips at a diamond price. Even Costco's legendary low markup cannot redeem this category because the issue is the product, not the price. If a tag reads diamond accent, understand that you are buying gold with confetti sprinkled on top. Buy it for the gold if the gold is worth it. Never, ever for the stones. 2 more quick skips to close the shelf. Designer-style fashion jewelry. The plated brass pieces that occasionally appear mixed right in with the fine jewelry. Plated is plated. It is the same alloy that wears through to dull base metal within a year at any fashion accessory store, often made in the very same factories, and Costco's low markup does absolutely nothing to change the chemistry underneath. And charm bracelets run on pure emotion, with a base bracelet followed by a lifetime of individually bought add-on charms whose silver is worth a tiny fraction of what you pay for each one, the exact model that quietly built certain brands into giants. The sentiment is real and worth keeping. The value is not. Buy it knowing the markup lives entirely in the feeling, not in the metal. So step all the way back and weigh the whole section at once, because now it finally tells one clean, honest story. The steels, the diamonds, the solid gold, the pearls are where that thin margin sits on top of genuinely good material, and they embarrass the mall on price. The solids are real value, every one of them, as long as you respect the stone, the setting, and what you are actually buying underneath the sparkle. And the skips fail not because Costco overcharges, it does not, but because the product itself was never worth buying anywhere, at any price. That is the real lesson the warehouse teaches. It does not protect you from bad jewelry. It sells the good and the bad at the same fair price, side by side, and it quietly leaves the judgment entirely to you. The difference is that now you have that judgment. And there is one move that takes the Costco advantage further than most buyers ever realize, the same hybrid trick I mentioned last time, because it is genuinely that good. Costco only sells finished pieces, but you can still use it as a pure diamond source. Buy a GIA-certified stone set in one of their simplest, plainest solitaire mounts. You are buying it for the stone, not the setting. Then carry that piece to a good independent local jeweler and have them unset the diamond and reset it into a custom mount built for your hand and your life. You walk away with the Costco price on the stone and a setting made by someone who will tighten the prongs, polish it, and stand behind it for as long as you own it. And here is the detail almost nobody catches. Costco itself officially recommends having every piece inspected by a local jeweler every 6 months. So let that jeweler be someone who actually knows you and your jewelry, not a stranger behind a mall counter. That one relationship is worth more than any warehouse membership and any famous blue box combined. If this saved you from overpaying, or from buying gold with confetti at a diamond price, hit like so more people find it, and subscribe to Jewel Verdict. And then tell me down in the comments, have you ever bought something from Costco's jewelry case, and how has it actually held up over time? Or is there a specific piece sitting in there right now you want me to dig into next? The community in those comments helps everyone in here shop smarter. I'll see you in the next one.